Good morning. My name is Chris Oldroyd, and with my wife Fran, we were very much involved with St Mary's Church Centre for several years, about a decade or so ago, and it really is a real joy to be becoming a little bit more involved now, and I look forward to becoming more involved as the months and years go by. So it's great to be with you. I hope that in these last 6 months you've been surviving, but actually not just surviving, but thriving, and that you can identify even one area where actually this has been a positive time for you and you have thrived, and that is a point of gladness for you on which you can build. We are going through this great series in Romans, and we're getting towards the end now. And we are looking at the last few verses of Romans 12, which Marion has read to us. If you are in the army in peacetime, the first thing you do every morning is to look at the daily orders sheet, which is up there for everyone to see. It tells you what you've got to do, where you've got to go, what time, who is in command, and what the dress is for the day. It's very, very important for the day. And here is another orders sheet. And Marion's just read it for us, but I'm going to read you just some of the orders. Here they are. Love, one is love sincerely. Two, hate what is evil. Three, cling to what is good. Four, be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Five, honor one another above yourselves. Six, never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor. Seven, serve the Lord. Eight, be joyful in hope. Nine, be patient in affliction. 10, be faithful in prayer. 11, share with God's people who are in need. 12, practice hospitality. 13, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse. 15, have I got to 15? I think I have. Rejoice with those who rejoice. 16, mourn with those who mourn. 17, live in harmony with one another. 18, don't be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. 19, do not be conceited. I probably got those numbers wrong, but you get the picture. These are not just daily orders, these are orders for a lifetime. And that they're not even just a good suggestion or advice, they are orders. Which St. Paul, by the Spirit of God, leaves for us. And we know they are because many of them are written in the imperative mood, and they are also written in the present participle, which carries with it the meaning of we don't just do them once, we continue to keep doing them. What a list. I don't know about you, but I've broken every one of them. And I've probably, possibly, broken one or two more than once. Nigel said recently in a sermon which I heard, which he preached at St Mary's, we're not always good and we do things that are bad. Well, I agree with that. This is an impossible list to keep without fail. We could spend 2 hours on each one, but we haven't got that time. So let's look at this whole passage as a whole instead. If someone asked you, what is the most encouraging passage in the Bible for you? I wonder what your answer would be. I know exactly what mine is. And in fact, actually, it comes in the same letter from St. Paul. It's in chapter 7. And I'm going to read it to you because I find it so encouraging. This is what he says. I'm unspiritual, sold as a slave to sin. I don't understand what I do. For what I want to do, I don't do, but what I hate to do. And if I do what I don't want to do, it's no longer I myself who do it, but it's sin living in me. I know that nothing good lives in me, that is, in my sinful nature. For I have the desire to do what is good, but I can't carry it out. For what I do is not the good I want to do. No, the evil I do that I don't want to do, this I keep on doing. I find those words so encouraging because if St. Paul has the same problem, then I'm not alone. We must remember how God works in our lives. In Hebrews 10, there is another amazing statement that gives us hope and confidence and encouragement. In chapter 10, the writer says, He has made perfect forever those who are being made holy. He has already made perfect, and not just for a while, but forever, those who are being made holy. He has already made us perfect, those who are being made holy. He's talking here to Christians. He's talking here to people who know Jesus. They don't just know about him. They're not just churchgoers. They know Jesus. They have a relationship with him. And if we do, what the writer says is that we have already been made perfect forever. And that is making us holy. Well, you might say, well, I don't feel very holy. I'm not very holy. You are, because 4 verses before, in verse 10, he says this. I'll read it to you. He says, we have been made holy through the sacrifice of the body of Jesus Christ once and for all. We have been made holy. And again, I love words, and that particular tense means actually that we are continually living in the state of having been made holy. Isn't that wonderful? We are continually living in the state of having been made holy. So we've already been made holy. We've already been made perfect. Isn't that wonderful? But then the writer to Hebrews goes on in chapter 12 to say, make every effort to be holy. So do you see there the challenge, and do you see the invitation that there is? He has set inside you and me, he has set inside us holiness already. We are perfectly holy. We are perfect, perfected, and we are holy. He's set that inside us by his Holy Spirit. And so now the invitation, the challenge to us is to live up to what he's already done in our lives and to what he continues to do. We continue to live daily in this state of continual perfection and continual holiness. Isn't it a big statement to take on board? And this is a challenge, not just for today, but it's a lifetime's challenge. And he knows that we'll keep on failing. But the good news is that's okay. You know, the older I get, the more I realize what an absolute sinful person I am. However much I want to be like Jesus, I am just more and more aware of how much I'm not. That I'm increasingly aware of how weak I am as a Christian, as a spiritual person. But the other side of the coin is that I also am realizing more and more his forgiveness, his mercy, his grace, his patience with me. He knows me better than I do. He knows I'm more sinful than I even think I am myself. Yet he walks with me day and night, and he loves me and has already set inside me his own holiness and his own perfection. And he walks with me in patience. And I just love that, to sense that patience, that whatever I do, his patience is there and he's walking with me. So how do we comply with uh, this whole mass of demanding orders? There's no magic bullet, no formula. We simply use what self-discipline we can, and opportunity by opportunity, and they come to us daily. We use what the choices we make. Every single thing that we do during the day is a choice. What we say, how we react, what we think, what we do. We make the right choice. And it's like any muscle. The more we use a muscle, the stronger that gets. It's the same with our spiritual life. The more we make these choices, the more, the stronger we become. It's a lifetime's invitation. It's a lifetime's challenge. It's a wonderful lifetime's journey. God guides us by the attitude of our heart. He knows how weak we are. He sees that, fail though we will, he goes deeper than that. And he sees our heart. He sees that our heart is longing to be more like him. He sees our heart longs to serve him, to be more like him in every way, in who he is and what he does. He sees that. He goes behind our weakness and he sees our heart, and that delights him. So be encouraged, be at peace, and enjoy your wonderful Christian